In the last video, I introduced the first principle of IDEA, Free Appropriate Public Education, also known as FAPE. In this video, I'll introduce the second principle of IDEA, Eligibility and Evaluation. Under IDEA's Child Find Mandate, states are required to have policies and procedures in place to identify, locate, and evaluate all resident children with disability, including those who are homeless, English language learners, and wards of the state, regardless of the severity of their disabilities or whether they attend public or private schools. But the law does not specify how to identify, locate, and evaluate them. In DLV District of Columbia 2017, a group of former preschool-aged children with disabilities filed a lawsuit against the District of Columbia in July 2005 in the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia. The students allege that the district had engaged in a pattern and practice of failing to provide special education and related services to them and other children. The court held that the school district failed to ensure that preschool-age children with disability in the district are identified, located, and evaluated for the purposes of offering special education and related services. In doing so, the school district failed to ensure that a FAPE is available to preschool-age children with disabilities in the district. The school district also failed to ensure that preschool-age children with disabilities in the district receive an eligibility determination within 120 days of referral in violation of IDEA. The court also concluded that the school district demonstrated bad faith and gross misjudgment with regard to its child find and FAPE obligations. The school district appealed the ruling. On June 23, 2017, the Court of Appeals for District of Columbia Circuit affirmed the district's ruling. 2 months later, on August 30, 2017, the assistant superintendent of the school district sent out a Dear Colleague letter on key IDEA requirements related to DLV District of Columbia. In another case, PP v. Westchester Area School District, Patrick was 11 years old. He lived within the boundaries of the district, but had never attended public school. During the 2001 to 2005 school years, when Patrick was in kindergarten through 3rd grade, he went to a parochial school. During the summer of 2005 and in the 2005 to 2006 school year, when he was in 4th grade, he attended a private school for children with disabilities. The students' parents allege that the Westchester Area School District denied their son a FAPE and violated the IDEA's child find obligations. The United States Court of Appeals 3rd Circuit held that the school district had complied with child find obligation because their efforts were comprehensive. The school district put annual notices in the general circulation newspaper that informed parents about the availability of evaluations and the procedures for making an evaluation request, including that requests must be in writing, that there must be written consent to evaluate, and that there are timelines for requesting due process. The school district also provided the same information on its website and over public access television and put posters and pamphlets with this information in both district school buildings and in private schools within the district. homeowners receive this information in their property tax bill. The school district also trained principals and staff at the private schools about the referral processes and child find issues. Because the school district's child find efforts were comprehensive, the court ruled in favor of the school district. Crofts v. Issaquah School District 2022. It's a recent case of the eligibility and evaluation. In this case, a student attended an elementary school in a public school district. In the summer before the student's second grade school year, her parents requested an IDEA evaluation because they believe she might have dyslexia. Before school started, the parents had the student evaluated by a retired school psychologist. The evaluator conducted numerous assessments of the student's reading skills and cognitive ability and determined that she demonstrated a pattern of academic and cognitive strengths and weaknesses consistent with the classic profile of the specific learning disability of dyslexia. At the beginning of the student's second grade year, the school district agreed to proceed with its own initial evaluation. And over the next month, it conducted a series of assessments designed to gauge the student's eligibility for special education services. The resulting evaluation report cited the outside evaluator's assessments and the suggestion that the student has dyslexia, as well as the district's own assessments and observations. It concluded that the student was eligible for services under the IDEA's specific learning disability category, which includes conditions like dyslexia. The student's second grade IEP provided her with 40 minutes of reading and writing instruction per day in a special education classroom, as well as several accommodations for her general education instruction. Her general and special education teachers used a variety of reading programs when instructing the student, including programs with multisensory approaches designed for students who have difficulty reading. In February of that school year, her parents called for another IEP meeting, citing their concern that the student was not making sufficient progress toward her IEP goals. They requested numerous additional accommodations, including that the student's teachers be trained in and use a specific instructional method for reading that the parents believed would be best for a student with dyslexia. The district denied the request, stating that it had already chosen research and evidence-based curriculum and methodologies which are used for both general education and special education settings. The student's second grade report card reflected progress in her general and special education classes, particularly in reading. But while she progressed toward her IEP goals, she fell short of meeting them. At the beginning of the student's third grade year, the district held another IEP meeting with the help of an outside facilitator. The student's IEP team then reassessed her academic performance and prepared new IEP goals. The team increased the student's special education instructional time from 40 to 60 minutes per day and revised her general education accommodations. The parents again requested that the district use the specific instructional method and that the student's disability category be changed from specific learning disability to dyslexia. The district denied both requests, stating that under the applicable law, specific learning disability serves as the eligibility category for dyslexia, and that the district does not identify specific learning programs in IEPs. The student continued to progress in reading, and by December of her third grade year, she'd moved up another 3 levels. After the student's third grade IEP meeting, her parents requested an independent educational evaluation at the district's expense. The district did not agree that an independent educational evaluation was warranted and filed a request for an administrative hearing to show that its internal evaluations were appropriate. The parents filed their own hearing request soon after, alleging that the district denied the student a FAPE during her second and third grade years. During the 10-day administrative law judge hearing, one of the witnesses called was a dyslexia expert, Anthony, but the district law judge gave Anthony's testimony little weight because she did not have education, training, and experience in special education, had little experience writing IEP goals, had not met the student or talked to her teachers, and had only reviewed samples of the student's work provided by the parents without an understanding of what the sample represented. The administrative law judge concluded that the school district's evaluation was appropriate and that the IEP it crafted for the student did not deny her a FAPE. Also, the district was not required to specifically assess the student for dyslexia because it identified the student as having a specific learning disability, that dyslexia is but one example of a larger group of specific learning disabilities, and that testing in dyslexia was not necessary to determine this student's educational needs. The District Court and Ninth Circuit affirmed the administrative law judge properly discounted expert witness testimony. The district satisfied the IDEA by evaluating the student under the specific learning disability category and did not violate its obligation to evaluate the students in all areas of suspected disability when it did not formally evaluate her for dyslexia. The district's IEP were reasonably calculated to help the student progress, and the district did not deny a FAPE by failing to use the parents' preferred teaching method. In this video, I introduced the second principle of IDEA, eligibility and evaluation. I used 3 cases to explain how courts have judged school districts' efforts to comply with the child find obligations. In the next video, I'll introduce the third principle of IDEA, Individualized Education Program, also known as IEP.